Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Krista here to do the monthly forecast for the sign of Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is for the month of October 2018. I hope that you enjoyed your September 2018 reading. I feel like time is really flying by, so I hope it's being generous with you and life is good. This is a general reading for all Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs, so whatever is most prominent in your life at the time of this viewing is what I encourage you to take the messages and apply them to. And as always, I hope that you find them helpful and healing. I'm doing a 5-card improvement spread today. It's quite revealing, so I hope it's helpful. Sometimes I find this is just a confirmation for what people are experiencing or improving already, and they just need to know that they're going in the right direction. So hopefully you find that's the case for you, or if you've been looking for inspiration, this could very well act as inspiration for you. 5 cards from the Good Tarot today, bottom of the deck for general energy for the month, and as always we'll get a jumper card from each of the oracle decks for additional messages for you. All right, so messages for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs for the month of October. Messages for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Libra messages. Messages for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Libra. All right, well, if we get to the 3-minute mark without any of that feeling that I get before I lay the cards down, I will just split the deck for you. Messages for Libra. I'm looking for inspiring messages for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Sun, Moon, Rising messages for Libra. There it is in my shoulder. Libra, let's get your bottom of the deck energy for the month. Looking at the 7 of Fire, or the 7 of Wands, this is really just protective, sort of defensive energy. All 7s are like a pause. What are you defending? Okay, what are you in the process of or in the habit of defending? Where do you feel on solid ground? How did you get there? How are you going to maintain that? That type of thing. This is action energy, so it's something that you're in the process of. You might be doing some reviewing in the month of October, Libra, around what you're in the process of. So it might be a nice time for you, for example, to take a look at how far you've come. What is next? Is it fulfilling? Is it an activity or a process that you're enjoying that you feel is worthy of defense or worthy of protecting here? Again, you are on, raised terrain there. You are above something, or you are, you have achieved something here, right? The 6 precedes this, of course, it's a victory, but there's a sense of, well, now you need to maintain this. So there just may be some contemplation around what you're in the middle of and what you plan to do with that. And you might want to switch directions here, or you might want to keep going. Just something to think about in the month of October. We're going to get a little general idea about what's going on with the other 5 cards here as a group, and then we'll look at them individually as always. 1 second here, folks. All right, so just a general snapshot of everything here. We're looking at some emotional, perhaps disappointment or a letdown. The world is at your fingertips here. What's truly going on with you. I think that these two have a lot in common. Right now, you might be saying, what is it that I want to represent in the world? How do I want to be represented in the world through your behavior? There is a major transformation here as an externality to you. This is the Death card. You could be dealing with a Scorpio as well, or have Scorpio in your own chart. If you're a Libra who is cross-watching, for example, perhaps you're a Libra sun, you have a Scorpio moon, that type of thing. Scorpio could figure prominently. On the other hand, there could be a major overhaul here externally to you. As I said, this is something that's outside of you. It could just be that this is an element of inspiration that you recognize through this process. Where am I? Where do I want to continue? Which way do I want to maneuver, etc.? Do I enjoy protecting this and defending this? Do I want, etc.? You may decide, everything else, something else needs to, at least one other theme or phase or even person in your life needs to be put on the back burner while you focus on what it is that you want to continue moving forward with here. If this is an agenda or a relationship or whatever theme, right? It's a general reading. But external to you, something may be taken from you is another theme here. If this were in that position, I wouldn't have said that. This would be internal to you, something that you decide. But because this is external to you, I do feel like perhaps something outside of your influence or power could be coming to an end on its own, and it could very well be a very good thing here. So that's really not anything to be concerned over, just something to be prepared for. Here we have this really beautiful I expect all good things to come, and you've made it very clear what you want. This is in your heart. This is internal to you. These are matching pretty nicely as well. What are you in the middle of? Do you enjoy it? Do you want to keep doing that? And this is your ships are coming in. What do you expect? What have you worked hard for and is coming in? But this is internal to you. So, and we've backed up a little bit here. So I think you've been doing, or perhaps October could be a really nice reassessment month for you, Libra. And then with this feeling of, it really is a thought process here. I don't think this is feelings. It's certainly not anything happening to you. But there is definitely a thought process here where there, in the advice column, is a sense of feeling trapped, entrapment. So yeah, I feel like you need to, I do think you know more intuitively about what this means to you, what you need to let go of, what you need to move away from, whatever it is, for example, that you can identify is giving you any amount of stress or anxiety or sleeplessness. But it's really like what's going on in your own mind. It's anything having to do with swords or air energy is really the nerves, right? It's ruled by air. It's the nerves, it's the mind, thought processes, belief systems, attitudes. But certainly the way that you talk to yourself, your internal narrative here. So it could just be a lesson around switching up the way that you talk to yourself. I think that you could be, it could be easy this month, for example, to have your thoughts overtake and perhaps even invade or color a reality that doesn't match what's going on in your mind. And I think that you need to be clear in your own mind and get out of a sense of, entrapment here, because there's nothing in the other 5 cards here at all that are saying anything about entrapment. So I think with this, because it's in the advice position, what it could be saying, perhaps this could be the easiest way to identify what you do need to let go of, or what you do need to, work on or defeat or face or address, whatever, is what is mentally compounding an issue, or, an internal narrative or dialogue, or a story. We all tell ourselves stories, right? You're not the only one. But what is that story you're telling yourself? Perhaps what doesn't bring you joy or doesn't give you energy or isn't worth defending. or isn't part of what you expect to come into you, the good you expect to receive, perhaps it's time to let that go. And that could very well set you free. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw some, freeing or liberation cards from the Oracle decks following this, in fact. So let's get into each of the cards in their respective position. Four of Cups is what you already do well. So in that regard, we're just looking at what you already you do without thinking, okay? This comes naturally to you. It's an ongoing theme. You don't have to think about it. It's just something that manages itself. It's could very well be a feeling, right? So, the air or the swords are attitudes and beliefs. This is really, anytime we're dealing with cups or water, we're dealing with the feelings, how we feel. So you're really guided by this sense of not seeing something for what it really is, okay? There's a lot of joy that's available to you and an opportunity that's being provided to you here. The joy being in the Three Cups. If you know, the Three Cups is a celebration, it's friendships. And then when you add the Fourth Cup here, that's an opportunity, okay? That's coming your way, an emotional opportunity to elevate, to capitalize, even to appreciate, or to have gratitude, right? From a real emotional, compassionate place. It's almost like there's a focus that's chewing up your energy, or you're being advised here to pay attention to energy. Something is going on in your mind that's chewing up, okay, a sense of appreciation and gratitude here, because this is a missed opportunity. That's it. It's a missed opportunity for emotional happiness. The Five, which follows that, is an actual emotional letdown. You've been actually let down, probably within a soulmate relationship. That can be with animals, friendships, families, or lovers. But this is preceding that. So it's almost like you could be waiting for the other shoe to drop here. You could be not just waiting, but because this is something you already do well, this could be a lifestyle, Libra, right? That could be an emotional lifestyle or type of management, life management, okay? And, from time to time, especially if we've just been hurt, this could be an element of protection. You needed to protect yourself from something, but this is something you already do well. This is something that's been carried on perhaps too long or needs to be addressed so that it doesn't compound itself, so that it doesn't become difficult to pay attention to what is working, what does feel good, actual successes, okay? It's almost like there's perhaps even a difficulty or an inability or a rejection of even looking at some of your own successes here. I do think just because, and in the way I have them laid too, it's the bottom of the deck energy being the Seven of Wands above the Death card here as well. As I said, and because this is external to you, I'll get to that in a second. I mean, without gratitude and appreciation, we can have something that we've worked hard toward as well, without having realized how important it is to us or even to other people or the grand scheme of, life in general, on a healing or helpful level in general, being taken from us or being denied to us in some way here. And if that's all you've been working on, if you've been focused on literally one thing, bereft of friendships, bereft of just the simple things. And when I say gratitude, I mean literally the simple things like breathing. Can you breathe? Wonderful. Great. Grateful. Did you eat today? Beautiful. Be grateful. Do you have one friend in the universe that you can talk to? Be grateful. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. Like, keep it real simple. Get to the nitty gritty. Maybe there's this sense of you did become so successful, or the management of success looked so great, perhaps on the surface, or it's everything you ever wanted, and you got that or a taste of that, and you're recognizing or realizing now there's still something missing. There's still something How can I still feel this way? I don't feel fulfilled. This is because this is an ongoing habit. This is a lack of fulfillment. So, and there's no one to blame. Even if you try to turn it around and say, well, I only have myself to blame. How about just don't? How about just don't blame yourself? Don't play this game. Blame is useless. It's as useless as guilt. How about what happened? How did that happen? What can I learn from that? What is it that I truly desire? What am I willing to do to get that? Just don't play games. There's no need, especially with yourself. Don't play games. It's a trap, right? Everything is just going to be a game. And then you'll just think the whole world's playing games with you as well, and it won't be fun or fulfilling. It'll sort of creep in like this Eight of Swords here and just kind of be like you feel trapped. Okay, it's not very freeing. Here we have this gorgeous World card. I love this so much. This is so invigorating. This is a really nice reminder to gain perspective. Okay? Again, I think this is going to be a month for you that is going to help with perspective and centering yourself. You can probably see here there are actually two globes sort of sitting on a third one here. It's almost really just saying, you know, how are you viewing the world? Why would you view it that way? What's your place in it? Do you consider yourself, you know, as this small orb, or are you something massive? In other words, this is, I know it's not even a major arcana here. I keep going back to the Eight of Swords, but as an advice card, this just tells me pretty much everything I need to know about the month for you, which is this is a self-defeating thinking, right? This is waiting for the other shoe to drop. So really, as a general matter, it doesn't, okay, apply it to whatever is important to you right now, but I think it's more important now than ever, Libra, that you get a handle on who you are. Who's Libra? Who are you? Okay? You can do whatever you want. You can have whatever you want. Obviously, there's a price to pay for everything. And no, I'm not talking about evil, narcissist people who want to ruin the world. I mean, they can do whatever they want to, but chances are they're not the ones looking for advice and watching these kinds of videos. I'm speaking to and about loving, happy, healthy, you know, decent, kind, intelligent, creative people who happen to be Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising. That's who I'm trying to get at here. And I want you to not defeat yourself. I don't want you to trip yourself up. There could be some game playing. I mean, this is, you're Venusian ruled. I mean, Taurus can be placed under the same umbrella. For that matter, Gemini can be placed under that same umbrella. Let's be honest here, you know. The sign of the Lovers card. I mean, if this is a romance or a sexual situation, you know, a love, you know, an intimate love situation, it's almost like, I mean, it's clear as day. Do you want to be in this? Is this person who you thought they were? There, 100%, okay? And furthermore, are you the person you want to be when you're in the company of that person, right? It's just about perspective here. You might feel as well, because this is in the what do you need to work on position here. What do you need to work on is really, like I said, just over here. It's almost like, what are your attitudes about this person, or your placement, or how far you've come, or your successes, or your thoughts about yourself. If you're having a hard time being grateful or seeing emotional opportunities here for what they are, you do need to get a really firm grip on what's going on around you, what's going on within you. And I'm telling you to start from a place of gratitude and gratefulness, gratitude, gratefulness, compassion. I mean, this is, someone may not have a lot of compassion for you, or at least that's the way it feels. But Libra, this is what you're good at. You aren't carrying that around either. Why, right? There could be just a flat out issue of deservability here. Again, this is screaming to me, this Eight of Swords here. As an advice, you know, it's curious, right? As an advice, you'd say, oh, you should be doing this. No, the advice here is, this is where you're going to be able to manage this. I know I keep flying forward to that. I'm solution orientated, so I just want to get to that. Like, I want you to really understand this is something that you and only you can fix. Really, truly, permanently fix and control that within your own mind. There are no externalities that are going to permanently solve this for you. And currently in the month of October anyway, your external resources are total transformation, death, literally, right? Like, you need to be willing to put something down, not yourself. You need to be willing to let go of the emotional constraints that don't serve you, the feeling that the other shoe is going to drop, the feeling that you don't deserve it, you're not good enough, that opportunity isn't real, what if you fail? Basically, all this emotional distress around something that 10 to 1 hasn't even happened yet, right? And and like I said, if this is ongoing, because this is something you keep experiencing, if this emotional letdown or insecurity or inability to see opportunities here is ongoing, why do you tolerate that? Why would you tolerate that? So I think here, as an external resource, I think this is, again, it's something that's either going to happen to you, something is going to be taken from you, or something's going to happen to something that you thought was, you were on solid ground here, or that you thought was fairly permanent, or that wouldn't change, or wouldn't affect you if it did change. It might even free you up if that's the case. If something is taken away from you, or doesn't work out, or is denied to you, it could be freeing. And I'm sorry to say, but there could even be a setup here. You might even have set this up in order to get out of something. I mean, I'm only sorry to say that because I don't think it's, even if you get your own way, let's just say it all works out, yes, according to plan, you get your own way, it's still going to bother you. Something about it's going to bother you. It's not going to be fulfilling. Not going to be fulfilling. So yeah, something external to you is going to have to meet a natural death here. And again, whether it's shocking or not, whether you expect it or not, is really neither here nor there. The fact is that in essence, it's going to be freeing. I know this because internally to you, your internal resources say, you are excited about what's coming in now. This is the really, honest to God, this is the only exciting card out of this whole reading. But this is your ships coming in. I knew what I wanted. I put my foot down. I made my mind up. I took the right actions. I'm looking out to what's coming into me now. But it's in its infancy. This is really, really early. So, and maybe that's the point. Maybe because we're a couple of steps down from the 7, maybe you had to give up something. Maybe this is what's positive for you is, I'm going to put something or a couple things down here. There's no 2, so I don't think there's any issues of juggling here so much as there is, it's not what you wanted. It's not what you expected. And again, I won't dive more into that. We've talked about that ad nauseum, but yeah, you need to really, I think the best way to help yourself out of a difficult situation this month, Libra, is to start in your own mind. There is no Lover, there's no amount of money, there is no amount of travel or distraction or achievement, or getting your own way, etc., that's going to make up for emotional fulfillment. It just, there isn't. You have to give it to yourself first. There could even be, like I said, there could be, I mean, the Seven of Swords, for example, is a theft. All sevens are a reassessment. So, I mean, I know we're not dealing with the Seven of Swords, but I just mean, could there have been, the Seven of Swords does precede the Eight. There could have been a type of mental, intellectual split, okay, where now you're sort of feeling the effects of that. Maybe you expected someone to be more honest than they were in revealing something. Maybe you weren't as honest as you could have or should have been with yourself, and then eventually with someone else. And it's just taking hold now. Maybe it just, oh my God, come on. I'm telling you, I'm not even kidding. I expected to see that 100%. I really did. That's actually bizarre though, because there's like 52 cards in there. Yeah, I think I said that within the first couple minutes. You have to free yourself from something. You really do. You have to. And where does that stem from? I don't know. Do you think you're not worthy? Look at the image. It's so beautiful. This beautiful unicorn. It's like a bird in a cage, right? In a way, like why is that in a cage? That it's almost like antithetical to its whole purpose. It's a trap. It's a trap, but it's in your mind. It's mind. So that says it's time to take back control of your life. Yeah, 100%. You know, if I were to sum this video up in a sentence, it would be that. Archangel Michael, thank you. It's a really important figure to have right now. Archangel Michael is going to help you through anything. If you're a spiritually minded person or believe in the archangels like I do, please reach out. He only shows up when he's available to you. Obviously, you can reach out and call on him at any time. If you're experiencing a lot of problems, and I see this could be a very heavy month for you emotionally, Libra, reach out to Archangel Michael sincerely, authentically, genuinely. If you're ready, when you're ready, you can reach out and he'll be available to you. Make a statement, thank you, Archangel Michael, for assisting me through this troubling time. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for your healing. Thank you for showing me the right way. Just whatever it is that you need, you don't have to ask so much as, be grateful for his contribution and his healing. And then you'll also be reminding the universe energetically that it's already underway. That process is already underway. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Archangel Michael. Pray to him every day. So give that a go. I do think that you are undergoing some stress. Yeah, spirit. I didn't see this as a spiritual reading until now. This could be a spiritual matter for you. If that's the case, it could very well be that your whole understanding of a spiritual or occult process has been upset, or something you didn't expect to happen has struck you in a different way. Your thinking has to change around that, a reassessment here. But ultimately what Spirit or Eagle is saying is that you need to take a long-range view. Eagle is the opposite. It's very similar to Hawk. Hawk is messenger, but Eagle flies as high as the sun, right? He can get as high as the sun. You need a broad view of something here. That's just a chunk. Let's keep going. You need a broad, long-range view here. Something needs an overhaul, but I'm not talking about how do you spend your time on Sundays? Let's reconfigure that. I'm talking, how do you spend your time at all? How do you spend what's your social life look like? Again, whatever this is impacting for you when you hear it, your love life, your business, your health, whatever it is that this is addressing for you, needs a long range overview, a reassessing. Happiness, compassion, joy, emotional and mental wellness, if that is important to you, needs to be assessed this month, Libra. You're not as fulfilled as you thought you would be. It could be because of a narrative, or it could be because you don't exactly like what you're defending or what you're in the middle of, or maybe someone's doing it to you, right? You're dealing with somebody who can't give you what you truly need and desire. And breaking up is hard, or leaving something that you've been doing for quite some time is look at this, higher power. Holy smokes, yeah. It could just be something as simple here, Libra, as whether or not this is a spiritual matter for you. Really, I didn't expect to see this at all. Whether or not this is a spiritual matter for you, you need some spiritual guidance right now. So maybe give up some control, okay? Give up some, it's fruitless anyway. The only thing we ever have control over, the only thing we ever have control over is our minds, okay? So maybe stop fooling yourself or tormenting yourself into believing that you can control anything else, like, except yourself. Higher power, you're being invited, Libra. You're being invited to something bigger and brighter and more powerful than yourself here. So there could be even an element of humility that is required from you at this time. So yeah, humility, joy, freeing yourself, seeing a way out, the death of something here, external to you. Something has to come to a close in order for you to find your wellness. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to my channel. Thanks for sharing my videos and for your comments. Take excellent care. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.